So going back to you, Achille, as you started learning the Silva tools, can you share any of the techniques that are part of the program that you began to work with to help you, for example, maybe work with your staff better or your team to get your point across, or it could even be customers and or vendors?
Yes, definitely, Ken. I think the counselor is a very powerful tool. Again, combining that, to my childhood. And I wanted to make a quick note. I think the challenge you mentioned, even here in the US, is not, there's still, even during the time I was growing, right? There's still people who are against that. And I actually learned it the hard way because I was not accepted easily. Everything you just said, people see you as a weirdo, or, you don't know what you're doing, grow up and all that. But again, we're not going to, focus on that. So I was going always, at that time, I didn't call their counselors because I grew up, the high school I went was a Catholic school. And one of actually the priest was a lot into helping us develop our intuitive forces, right? And he always, I learned from him the power of the silence. He always sent me in the garden. When I come to him with problem, he never positioned himself as giving me advices or something, right? He listened to me and he said, you know what, take a walk, just go walk under at the garden or, quiet places. There are many trees, right, on the campus. So I used to do that. And always my counselor were always, Mother Mary and Jesus. Okay, that's how I started. And sometimes I just stay there, I fall asleep, but I woke up with a guidance. So counselors in business have been very powerful for me because in any situation, I just go to level, I invite them. They don't need to be the expert in the field, but they will guide me toward what can be actually the alternative or the solution. So for the team, as we're building businesses, we're building people actually, right, around us and all that, I have to really use the counselors too, right, to be able to actually show me things that I cannot see. I was glad you mentioned, our encounter at the beginning, right, at your immersion, because this guy, I was just feeling something. I just went to level before even the training. Right now, I can say I went to level. I spoke and they're like, helping him out, tell him it's not the right thing. I'm like, okay. And I play stupid when it comes to my counselors because I know nothing. I'm going to just do what you say. So in business, working with the team and all that, yes, the counselors are very, very powerful. I may add a couple of ones, but, I think that's the one that I will position really like very helpful, very, very helpful.
May I add something? For those of you who are watching, and thank you, if you're not familiar with the Silva training, haven't read one of the books or something like that, it's a concept we have called the laboratory and counselors. And it's a tool to facilitate the flow of information. So it's a concept. We use our imagination. So it's like having your own geniuses guiding you. We call them counselors. Similar to Napoleon Hill, what he wrote in his book, Think and Grow Rich, what Andrew Carnegie used to do.
That's right.
Had his imaginary board of directors. And what I would add is, I'm so glad because there are two things that led to the development of the coursework. Silva started with an active of his children and what we call the 3 fingers technique and accelerated learning, which is how I got involved. I was flunking out of college and using this tool and the accelerated learning that we teach in day 2 of the immersion. I graduated cum laude. I became the youngest instructor on the planet while I was still a full-time student. But the children started having what seemed to be psychic experiences. Achille mentioned the term level. We lower our brain waves, you see the chart behind me, into alpha and theta, which is typically sleep, but now we know it's a meditative state. It's a daydream state. And this is what they started reporting. And they thought, I must be onto something of more value than memory. And that led him to researching things like absent healing, and it led him to things about what we now call the counselors. It's another whole topic in and of itself. It's fascinating that we tell in the class. But I too have found that it's it's phenomenal. It's almost bizarre how we can be guided. And that priest in your childhood, wow, he told you go for a walk,
That's right.
take a nap. And
Yep.
one of the ways to activate intuition is, you've heard business people, let me sleep on that, or you walk in nature,
That's right. That's right.
or you meditate. And this is what he was guiding him to do. And this is what Jose Silva, he said, I didn't do anything new. He just basically looked at what was working. He looked for universal truths and put them together.
That's right. Which is one thing that I truly appreciate from his research, because these are things he just reinforced, that we're born with them, we die with them. We just need to develop them. And actually, with all Silva instructor, it's been our mission, right? How can we assist people to develop that? And in my case, to help business owners know that it's not just something reserved when we have problem or issues or personal issues. Even the business that we're building, we can apply those tools, because again, you and I know, before the business was created, it was an idea. It was in the subjective dimension, right? Which we call the area that we cannot touch, right? Why now, when we're building it, we're not going to continue using subjective tools?